Hello, Simon. It's Allal. These two tracks, I recorded them yesterday on the iPhone. We were just jamming. It's basically trance music, stroke, new age, anything you wish to call it is okay. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.
أنا من شمال إفريقيا شمال إفريقيا وحبي ليك والله عليك.
Still in the ruins of Tamanugalt, our fifth itinerary begins on foot. From there, we reach the road where Said had scheduled a car to get us to Agdez, the nearest town. From there, we transferred into another taxi. Now, this taxi is only willing to go as far as Zagora. I'll come back to it later.
Hello.
For now, what you have to know is that Zagora is where we're going to find another ride to go further. But even with the gear properly loaded for a third time, we're not quite there yet.
Well, basically we have to wait for the taxi to be full. The taxi takes 6 people, and we're 3, including Said, who's making the trip with us. And so we have to find 3 more people, and then we're good.
Which we eventually did, and slowly made our way towards Mhamid. Mhamid is a remote yet pretty lively township, as it is a popular tourist spot. However, we're stopping just short of Mhamid, where Allal is to pick us up. Our final destination is a former kasbah named Bonu.
It closes.
Allal founded a creative hub. He calls it the Creative Den. The type of people he attracts in his creative den, like Said, a local percussionist, and Mustafa, a traditional Gnawa musician, are totally in phase with his philosophy.
Hello. Yes.
As for the actual building, Allal has built it himself, using all sustainable materials in a deep ecological mindfulness. It's what we call an earth building, but this one is, as you can see, very special, and the outside is just as cool. Another interesting aspect of his compound are these geodesic domes, covered in recycled fabric.
Yeah. It's a chilling room.
Yes, chilling room. So we've got this chilling room.
This one is even equipped with a wood oven to make tea and stay warm during those cold desert nights. It's also the perfect settings for transcendental Gnawa ceremonies, but I'll come back to that later.
This is where we prepare some tea.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody cold, push the fire, real fire.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. Obviously, this is absolute jam paradise, so after a quick wardrobe change, the first thing we did is exactly that. It was also a good opportunity to meet with a group of young musicians from the area that Allal had scheduled to record an EP with the next day. That being said, this evening was just about having fun. Allal has for sole purpose to match artists from all disciplines together in a seamless way, and he's clearly having an incredibly good time doing so.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. They can go because they have a gig. I'll have to take them. How is the audience doing?
I arrived next to you.
How is that, man?
Being light is obviously a very important part of this whole operation here. So this time around, we thought we wouldn't take regular XLR cables with us. And last year, we went out with these little guys, which are very, very thin XLR cables. They came with a boundary microphone that I bought, and I thought they're amazing. So we basically started doing some research on what kind of wire we could possibly buy, and we found this. We came across this Mogami model of wire, which is very, very light. It's meant for lavalier microphones, and we basically just soldered Nutri connectors onto them, which makes very, very light cable. You have to buy a whole spool of it, so we bought 50 meters, which is 163 feet, and chopped it off into little bits. All together with the two Audio-Technica that came with my boundary microphones, it's probably around, I don't know, a little over a kilo or 2.5 pounds, but the whole thing totals about 230 feet of wire. So this is really amazing for us. Obviously, it's not as heavy duty as regular XLR cables, but then again, it's a trade-off. And for us, this is much better to be light. The other thing that we thought we could improve on was the microphone stand situation. As you can see, we brought 4 microphone stands, but we have a lot more microphones, and thanks to the whole Apollo/Arrow situation, we have 10 inputs. So we needed some kind of way to hold those microphones, and we came across these little guys, which are meant for the audiovisual industry. They're called Magic Arms, and they're really great because, well, first, they're light, and second of all, you can clamp this end to pretty much anything. So a chair or a table or whatever you can come across that will hold sturdily enough. And they're very, very, very practical because once you loosen up this little screw here, you can basically position the arm the way you want. And if you tighten the screw again, everything gets very stiff and it retains its position. So it's really amazing for us to be able to basically trade off full-size microphone stands for just stuff like that when it comes to like miking amplifiers or something that would be close to a table or something. So we brought 2 of these, and they come with 1/4-20 screws because obviously they're meant for like lights and stuff like that. But it's very easy to find those adapters that go from 1/4-20 to regular microphone stand threading. So we bought 2 magic arms and 2 of these, which are basically the same type of clamps, but with little ball heads. Finally, the last piece that needed some kind of a lighter alternative was the direct boxes. We didn't want to bring full-size steel enclosure, heavy-duty direct boxes. So we thought, you know what, we already have 3 instrument inputs from the Apollo and the Arrow, so all we need is basically just a splitting device. So we bought these guys, which also serve a dual purpose because they're stereo, so we can split headphones. Sometimes we need more headphones than we have headphone outputs, so that's a great thing. Now, we are fully aware that by splitting the guitar or bass signal, we're basically also splitting the impedance in half. But for our purpose and in this situation, it's a trade-off that we're willing to do for the sake of staying light, basically. The next day provided a great opportunity to make use of all those knickknacks, as Allal brought the band back to the creative den, at least a part of the band.
Yeah. I'm missing the bass player.
Where's the other guy?
Other guy.
What's up? How are you? Good, man.
Simon,
Who's missing?
Mustafa.
Where is he?
Mustafa is going to Zagora for some paperwork and he's going to join. Said is with them to play the percussion. Is that okay or? You said for 3 because they are the side is with them in the band.
The other guy is the bass player.
Yeah,
is
the
he?
bass player. Yeah, he's just normally the bass player. Said is the percussionist. Welcome.
So we're missing a
Missing the bass player.
third of the band.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's talk. Let's have a talk.
Yes.
When is the bass player coming?
Yeah, Mustafa the
I need a player. Here's the thing. I can't record them if I don't have the bass player.
Yeah. We'll check. مصطفى والله اخوي الله يخليك فيها كاع والله. He said, can you do like sort of in line? No,
I need the bass player.
هو live ويدير كل
He's
شيء.
the one with the groove.
يا والله مصطفى الله يخليك فيها راه فرصة العمر هذه يا خالي. يلا مرحبا. عاد يخرج دابا. I think he's coming out of Zagora.
Okay.
It'll take about 1 hour.
well, at least this gave us time to listen and get familiar with the material. A lot.
Awesome. Okay, let's hear another song.
All right. Yeah.
Finally, it's dark and I'm tired. Mustafa,
We set up the mics in the next room, which had a little more intimate vibe, and pulled the rig right behind it. Here's a great example of using mini tripods and magic arms on guitar amps, which we pointed away from the guys to minimize leakage and maximize the room tone.
وسركماتو تنري عقالينو وسركماتو
If the style sounds familiar, it's because it is. Earlier this evening, we asked the guys what their influences were, and they told us that they were huge fans of a desert blues band from Ouarzazate called Tarawa Infinity. It's a very small world.
Oh, maybe some food. Yes.
One of the perks of traveling so far out is that we get to taste amazing new things, and Allal certainly kept his promise of feeding us properly.
That's the place.
Some brochettes, some meat like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, keep in mind that everything you've seen so far has been made in only 11 days. So it's nice sometimes to take some time off and lurk around town. That being said, there still was a recording on the menu that day.
We're going to collect one of the master of Rasma, which is a poetry, which is getting to be distinct in this region. Why? Because the young people, they are not interested anymore, or they don't know the style. This poetry we're going to listen to, it's sung and also played, and there is like somebody say a verse, somebody will answer, and I got two big masters in this field. I'm interested in them because of this gift and this treasure we have. What I want really to do with this is to preserve this gift for these people, because one day you will hear that they're dead, because poetry stays with the person who sings it and who creates it. This is our Rasma master, you know. See? Wait.
السلام عليكم.
السلام عليكم.
لاباس بخير. لاباس.
Simon.
سيمو. يلا.
وسويا ديال العرب.
Et toi?
عبد الرحيم.
عبد الرحيم.
عبد الرحيم.
عبد الرحيم.
Greg. مرحبا. Et toi?
Greg.
Greg.
اي كما ياكلوا. وسع عبد القادر. اخويا. اعطينا البيت الشعري يلا رسم لي دابا رسم.
مرحبا يلا الجاره غبين.
السلام عليكم. I told them like we will have to create a song on the spot now. Go to improvise this.
And yes, they sang all the way to the creative den, where the rest of the bunch was already waiting for us.
وكتب سلامتي يا غربي
هو شوي باش يسمعوا كراو قاسي غير برا باش يرضى
وكتب سلامتي يا غربي
الرسول عليه السلام وكتب سلامتي يا غربي
وكتب سلامتي يا غربي ونزل سعيد البشر
ونزل سعيد البشر
وكتب سلامتنا يا ربي ونزل سعيد البشر
الاخرين يوجدوا باش يجاوبون بقى تغني بقى تغني زيد مرحبا
في قلبي وانا ذكره كل
جابوا
وسط السماء إذا رح سماء وسط السماء إذا رح
Okay, so I'm not sure how we're gonna mic this, but we'll figure it out.
شكرا.
شكرا. Wow. Ok, on va se serrer.
Is when they're singing or the poetry,
Yeah.
they will have the tambour in front of them.
Okay, but they change. It's
No.
not always the same person.
Yes, they will move. But what we could do, set one mic, whoever wants to sing, they go
Yeah, we just set it.
set it in front of them.
Yeah,
is that
sounds
okay?
good. Yeah, let's do it.
So that's the tradition. Each one have a poem to give, and they help.
Oh, okay.
And
Fair
pass
enough.
the ball to the other. I never knew this. Thank you.
Okay.
I never knew this. So that question, I hope it's answered for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got it?
I'll figure
So,
it out with this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so basically, here is the setup. We have a pair of 120s over here with the dead cats on because we had a couple of gusts of winds and we don't want to have some rumble in the signal. But if we can, we'd rather use the pair of clarions that are right here. We also have for the drums this Evie mic and the LS208 for the vocal. Additionally, we will put a D12 under the drum to get as much low end as we can, and that should sound good. What do you think, Simon?
I totally agree.
After making a set list, it was time to hit record, or so we thought.
هذه كلام اللي كيجوا كاع اصحاب العراسات كيجوا جايين من برا كيبداو بها من فم الباب يدوروا بها فم الباب يدوروا بها ويردموها تما بالهرمه.
Basically, what they do in traditional is they come in what they call the chain with chanting and just clapping, some clapping of the hands.
Okay.
And they walk in and they keep going around and around chanting and singing, chanting and singing.
Okay.
And then they transfer to another genre of the same thing, the same people.
Okay.
Then they go to what they call a herma, which is another genre, different words, different sets. They are
Those,
sets.
they're just changing.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
And they keep singing. They don't
keep
stop.
singing. They don't
Perfect.
stop. And then there is a what's called a saf, which means two lines
Okay.
and no drum. You just go and sing, and these like they will sing, and the other ones will answer. They sing and answer, and then they come to the rasma, where they come and sit, and for each one, they have a drum. That's when they sit and they start the rasma.
Perfect.
So is that okay?
Oh, yeah,
So is that okay? If they start from here, they keep coming.
Oh, they're going to start from far away, and then
No,
they're going
just from here.
and then they're going to come
Yeah,
sit
and
down.
then they come later on here and perform there what they do. They will be
But they need to perform there.
just here because it's a bit wide. Just here. We don't want them to disturb this. Then they will come to you and sit here.
Because obviously we're not going to get a very good sound from whatever
From
they
whatever.
do there.
Okay.
So if it's part of their performance and to
It's
have
part,
the
yes.
sound from far away, then that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But if the idea is that the
That's
performance sounds
exactly
the same,
the thing, because they start with, like say they are invited to this wedding.
yes.
So
They-
you keep
they start from
chanting,
far
like
away.
they did here when they were coming. Oh, then they do whatever, and
So
then
it's part
the
of the
rest.
sound.
Okay,
is
let's do
just
it. That's
sound.
Then
perfect.
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
okay,
That's
good.
great.
Part of the
قال لك
performance.
تقدروا تبداو من هنا، هذا الشارع هذا يبقى في بلاصتو، ديروا ديك الهرمه غير هو اعتمدوا على الركبات غير هنا غير هنا. هنا باش يكون قريب لكم باش كيتسمع مزيان، ومن بعد غادي تجيو تريحوا ودير الرسمه ديالك، بغيتي تريح توقف، عاد بغيتي تزيد تريح بنادم وعاد ثاني بدا الرسمه ديالك، ان شاء الله صافي.
Perfect.
Think of it more like an intro to help them get the right energy. And so it was very important for the recorded performance.
This is how it's going to be
You can tell them to sit down.
اجي اريح ديري اجي اريح ديري
اول نبدانا ذكرى النبي محمد صلى عليه ذكرى النبي محمد صلى عليه اول نبدانا ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه لو نبدانا ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه لو نبدانا ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه ذكر النبي محمد صلى عليه لو نبدانا ذكر النبي.
After quick adjustments of the mics, including putting a scarf over the pair of clarions to act as a windjammer, we were now ready to record.
سلك الغيوان في إدخالي فيض بحر وما أعمل لي شرع الله بتلة شورانية سلك الغيوان في إدخالي فيض بحر وما أعمل لي شرع الله بتلة شورانية ومرات يزين لي الغوالي مرات يزين لي سراتا والتنزاه بتلاتا شورانية ومرات يزيدني هوالي مرات نقول راه أقلي صاب منه بتلاتا شورانية.
The subtle reverb you're hearing right now was not added in the mix. It's his voice resonating through the skin of the drum in front of him, and it's part of the sound.
مشي الطرقان وما يخفى صاحب الشدية مرة هتقول لي قد تبلى 20 بتلاتا شوره عليا الدنيا وخاف ربي والغيوان بتلاتا شوره عليا الدنيا وخاف ربي والغيوان بتلاتا هذا نوع الرسمة جوج طروحة ديال الرسمة. السلام عليكم.
Wow. شكرا. Wow. Oh yes. Oh yes. All good. That's perfect. Oh yeah, I can cut it. I can cut it. Yeah.
After recording about 90 minutes of material, the guys wanted to show us how they would typically perform traditional rasma chants. And so they set up to do so.
Normally there is two drums and one there, and the singing and stuff, and they go crazy.
Yeah, okay.
يا وانت بكم الغرام وانا وحسينا اسلام خطا زيت فيني نبغاك تحقق اللي ما كانوا اسلام زيت فيني زيت فيني
Shukran, Simon. Shukran, Greg.
After the sun completely disappeared behind the sand dunes, Allal filled up his tiny car with as many people as he possibly could.
Goodbye. They're not done singing.
They don't stop. They never stop.
They never stop.
Never, ever.
I previously mentioned Ouarzazate to be the old door to the Sahara, while Mhamid is the new one, as it is the end of the road. I'm not kidding. This is it. The actual end of the road right ahead. The national line to be exact. Past this point, you're kind of on your own. If one was to take it south from there, one would essentially end up crossing the Sahara smack dab in the middle of one of the least populated areas on Earth, crossing only 2 settlements and a salt mine to end up all the way down to Timbuktu, which is not a misnomer, as Timbuktu is 900 miles or 1,500 kilometers in a straight line south of Mhamid. These settlements one would cross are a remnants of the olden days, when they served as small caravan stops or checkpoints for those brave enough to traverse the desert. If outfitted with a natural water supply, it would be known as an oasis. This oasis is what Mhamid used to be in ancient times. Now, it's a very fun tourist attraction which we will certainly oblige in, walking aimlessly through the semi-abandoned vestiges of another time. The dusk settling over the oasis was our signal to get back to the creative den, as something very special was being prepared in our absence. Since the beginning of this series, I've been talking about Gnawa as an ethnicity and a musical identity, but there's another meaning to the word, which can also refer to people partaking in a musical ceremony named Lila. In Arabic, Lila means night, as this ritual occurs at night, sometimes only ending at dawn. Allal told us they can clock in around the 8-hour mark, a pretty intense performance for Mustafa, who perfected this craft in Tamanu Galt at the Qaid's residence where we recorded the folkloric band. Musically, the ceremony takes the shape of a long improvisation made up of various themes and mantras repeated many times over, which are all meant to be invocations to God. In fact, a song may last several hours, non-stop. However, what seems to the uninitiated to be one long song is actually a series of chants describing the various spirits called Melk. In Allal's own words, it's all about provoking trance from different angles. But tonight, we'll only capture a slice of it, or as long as the battery will last us for. Fire might be a little intense for the recording.
Too much of sound.
Yeah. We can...
Is that better? Too much? Is that still intense for you?
No, that's good.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's better.
Yep.
صلى نبي صلى نبي يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي صلى النبي يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي لا تنساني يا السباعي صلى نبي صلى نبي صلى نبي يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا العذراوي يا العذراوي يا السباعي العذراوي يا السباعي صلى نبي يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي صلى النبي صلى النبي صلى النبي يا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي صلى نبينا السباعي سيدي محمد يا السباعي لا تنساني يا السباعي يوم حسابي وجاه النبي مولاي محمد الحبيب رسول الله.
My sampler.